Hi everybody. Welcome. As you can see, we're doing this now because I procrastinated and um I didn't get this all ready until right this second. But I wanted to get week 2 done. Obviously, technically it's week 3 right now because we have the Thursday game, but I don't care because I want to do this and I didn't want it to be any later than it already is. So we're doing it. We're doing it now. NFL Week 2 recap. First, I need to get chat pulled up on my phone, though. Give me just 1 second. I'm not using the soundboard for this one because I'm going to be trying to edit this into an actual video later. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. And I need to send it to my girlfriend. Okay. Hi. No. Do not change input source, please, and thank you, TV. There we go. Good Lord. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Cthulhu. Welcome to the stream. For those who don't know me, I'm a streamer, content creator, artist. I'm going to skip all the usual things I say there because I'm trying to get this done before noon, which is when all the other games start. Yeah. Hi. Welcome. So week 2 of the NFL season was weird. Weird. Lot of upset wins. And a lot of wins that were done in a fashion that was not expected. So I'd say let's just, as you can see, just by the teams that are on the tops of division, the Saints are leading the NFC South, the Seahawks are leading the NFC West, the Commanders are leading the NFC East. What are we doing here? Let's find out, I guess. So, Bills, Dolphins, first and foremost. This was an ugly game. I said for the Dolphins, 1 pick. Run game okay at the start, especially Achane, who ended up being basically the entire offense. 2 pick. Pass rush solid early. O-line, ... Sanders kicked well. 3 pick. Awful decision trying to throw it away. Pick 6. And Tua just can't slide. Concussion. And that was really the story of the game, unfortunately. Thompson is not the answer at backup. Defense hangs in it late. Credit where credit's due. They tried their damnedest. Just couldn't have been a worse result for them. Beyond just a loss, they lost their star. And that does not bode well for their season. The Bills, on the other hand, I said offense was just solid. Allen handled a fumbled snap beautifully. Punt instead of turnover. Great catches in general. Great throws by Allen. O-line was exceptional as well as pass rush. James, MF, and Cook. And Tyler Bass with an awful missed kick in the 4th. The Bills are quite good, but it's hard to tell if that's because they were good in their own right or because the Dolphins were just terrible. Because they were. The Dolphins' offense was just hapless, completely hapless, and it was sad. I am very worried for the Dolphins' season in general. Maybe they can bounce back, but I sincerely doubt that they can. Raiders, Ravens. Speaking of upsets, let's go. Let's dive right in. Raiders, Ravens. For the Ravens, I said defense looks solid, offense decent in first half. Flowers looks great. Tucker's misses are concerning, very concerning, as one of the most accurate kickers in the league. Give Henry the ball. He's great when they do. And here we go. They did, finally. Great Wildcat play for a Henry touchdown. Handled the clock terribly. I don't understand the decisions they made. Passing it so much near the end of the game makes no sense at all. And why the fuck did Lamar run on the final play? That was baffling. I did not understand that decision even remotely. And the Raiders, I said Max Crosby, exclamation point. Defense is looking better. Bad INT by Minshew in the 2nd. Offense definitely wakes up in the 2nd half. Great interception by Spillane in the 3rd. Brock fucking Bowers. Minshew to Adams is fantastic. That seems to be the lifeblood of this offense for the Raiders. Then that sideline catch, unbelievable. Great play. Great fake handoff for a touchdown, and Carlson kicked well under pressure. He kicked the game winner, so credit where credit's due. Yeah, the Ravens, man. 0-2 to start the season. I don't know, man. They continue to get in their own way, and it's very frustrating to watch. The Raiders, on the other hand, I mean, they capitalized really well. Last week they were playing super conservatively, and that's part of what cost them. This week they seem to have learned from their mistakes and are adjusting well. We'll see how much that continues. But I was impressed. I was impressed by the Raiders' performance, which is not something I thought I would say in the 21st century. Chargers, Panthers. Oh boy. Speaking of ugly, ugly games, I had a lot to say about the Panthers and not much to say about the Chargers. Panthers, I said, defense has pleasantly surprised, not by much. Basically, by pleasantly surprised, I meant did anything at all. Hubbard is solid, but the offense is hapless. Pick by Young in the second. Finally, some offense in the third. Points, blessed points. I said they got 3 whole points. And Bryce Young just did nothing. Poor man. He just looks broken. He needs a reset. And this team is not going to give it to him, which is a damn shame. He deserves so much better. The Chargers, come on McConkey. Miss PAT by Dicker was weird. Herbert extends, but it's intercepted badly. Dobbins with a great touchdown run and strip sack on Herbert late. This game did not indicate really much of anything about the Chargers. They're playing the worst team in the league. You can't really base anything off that. So, yeah. The Panthers are just atrocious. To the surprise, what should be the surprise of basically nobody. Saints Cowboys! Yes! Let's talk about one of the weirdest games all week. The Cowboys, this defense is getting sliced and diced. Offense starts well until Dak gets sacked. Dak to Lamb, unfortunate pick, a bad throw and worse fall. Great shovel by Dak to Elliott to turn a sack into a first. Dak still remains pretty solid. Tolbert interfered with, but doesn't matter. Nice. And a strip sack moves that way back. They get a pick and throw a pick. The Cowboys were bad. It was a bad performance by them. The Saints, on the other hand, Jesus fucking Christ. Alvin Kamara, exclamation point. 4 touchdowns. Ridiculous. Carr looks really good. Carr to Shaheed. Kamara again and again. Matthew with a great defensive play. Adebo with a great pick and run to the Dallas 20. Carr sneaks for a touchdown. Kamara for a fourth touchdown. Missed extra point. Weird. And Carr throws a bad pick late. But, I mean, overall, just a masterclass by the Saints. The Saints, of all teams. But Clint Kubiak and Dennis Allen seem to work together really, really well. Kubiak's offense and Allen's defense. I'm like, can we make them the coordinators and get a guy who's better at personnel management as head coach or something? I know people are talking about Kubiak as head coach, but we don't know if he would be good at that personnel management side. Obviously, Dennis Allen's great at defense. It's the personnel that he struggles with. We don't know if the same is true for Kubiak. So, who knows? But obviously, the partnership is really effective. So, credit where credit's due. The Saints played really, really well. Bucks, Lions. Oof. This was just a whiff of a game for the Lions. Defense solid early. Awful pick by Goff. Pass rush is elite. That's the one great thing I can say for the Lions. Their defense and their pass rush especially is amazing. Great fake punt. Amazing. Great pick by Branch. Inexcusable failure on the attempted spike. 12 men on the field when they were trying to spike it for the field goal. They just beefed it completely. Williams excellent, as is Gibbs, as is St. Brown. Aiden Hutchinson, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Another awful pick in the fourth. Not sure about the choice to go for it on fourth down. And they could have just kicked a field goal and hoped for the best. They got 2 chances and went for it on fourth down both times, when in fact they could have just, I don't know. If you had kicked a field goal the first time, the Bucks wouldn't have as much room to kill clock. You would only need a field goal on the second try as well. I don't agree with the decision, but I'm also not a head coach. So, you know, take whatever I say with a grain of salt. The Bucks, on the other hand, they're looking to be a really solid football team. Uh, McLaughlin, a really solid kicker. Baker extends a play beautifully. Mayfield to Godwin is excellent. Baker's awareness is fantastic. Rundy could be better. Several great runs by Baker, including a touchdown run. Awful clock management in the last 6 minutes. They gave the Lions 2 chances that they should never have had. They should have only gotten 1 chance. If the Bucks had managed the clock effectively, they could have prevented that second opportunity for the Lions to take it away. But they didn't. Colts Packers. Ooh, yeah, ugh. A lot of ugly games, man. Colts defense just not very good. The Colts defense is rough. Really, really rough. Jonathan Taylor with some great runs. Jonathan Taylor was excellent all day. Richardson with an awful first quarter pick. Great forced fumble on Josh Jacobs, and the offense wastes it. Mitchell with a very costly drop. Taylor with a costly drop. Offense wakes up in the third quarter. Gay finally gets a field goal. Another awful pick. First down on 4th and 14, a run, but it doesn't end up mattering. Colts just did not play well. Richardson did not play well. I don't know. I don't know. On the other hand, the Packers, Josh, exclamation point, Jacobs, exclamation point. Willis, really solid. Jaden Reed, great. Willis runs very well. Costly goal line fumble that gave the Colts a chance to get back in it. They didn't, but still significant. Pass defense quite good. Romeo Doubs with a phenomenal catch. Odd missed field goal late. Great pick by Evan Williams to kill the Hail Mary when the Colts were trying to Hail Mary it to win the game. Evan Williams is the one who picked it off and iced the game completely. So, good on him. The Packers, I don't know. It was a win, but an ugly one. Neither team looked great here. So, we'll see, especially once the Packers get Jordan Love back in a couple weeks, how well they turn it around. I don't know. They did not inspire a whole lot of confidence with their performance here. Browns, Jaguars. Ugly game. Again, just a lot of ugly games this week. I don't know why. Jaguars, where is the secondary? Where is the D-line? ETN, great, of course. Near pick, lucky it was dropped. Lawrence with a great run in the second quarter. O-line, bad too. Doinked field goal. Lawrence to Thomas for a fantastic reception. Oluokun with a sack. Lawrence, however, was sacked a lot. Damn close to a game-winning drive. Credit where credit's due. Lawrence tried his damnedest, but couldn't do it. The Jaguars just did not look good at all. It was a bad performance again. The Browns, meanwhile, the Jaguars' defense was so bad it made Watson look competent, which I never want to happen because I hate that man. Watson looked a lot improved. Solid touchdown run by Watson. Run game great as usual. Watson with a great QB sneak. Cooper with a bad drop. Jerome Ford with great run on 4th down. Great pressure by the defense. Jesus, I cannot read my handwriting. Great pressure by the defense. Myles Garrett, of course. Who's surprised that Myles Garrett is great in the year 2024? Winston, a solid option running QB. There were a couple times, especially on 4th down, where they would swap Watson for Jameis Winston, and it actually was really effective. I was surprised. It was a really smart play calling by Stefanski. If they can have that sort of 2 QB system where Winston comes in when they just need a yard or two and then gives it back to Watson, it worked really well. So that was just cool. You just don't see a lot of 2 QB systems like that, where the backup is used that effectively. So it was cool. I liked that a lot. Great punt forces a safety. Another great special teams play by the Browns, which gave them a final score of 18. A weird football score. Again, the Browns are not great, but against the Jaguars, they looked stellar. So make of that what you will. Vikings-Niners, probably my favorite game of the week. My board is falling down. Who's surprised? Not me. Vikings-Niners. The Niners Offense just couldn't move. They had a couple really solid plays, but in general, they just kept getting stymied by the Vikings defense. We will get to that later. Defense okay, actually quite good at times. Fred Warner in particular was the standout. Great game-changing interception and forced fumble by Fred Warner. But they just were hapless in the face of the Vikings defense. Darnold is just genuinely great. He had a great game against the Niners. Might have been because he's played with them, and so he was more familiar with their scheme. I don't know. The 97-yard touchdown to Jefferson. I mean, people have been talking about it all week. What a crazy play. The most yards run collectively in a play since that stat was tracked. Insane. Beautiful play. Bad INT by Darnold. This is the one that Fred Warner picked off. Flores' defense is spectacular. Genuinely phenomenal defense by Flores. I was impressed, to say the least. I mean, Brock Purdy was impressed. He went up to Flores after the game and said, "Your defense is insane." I love it. The Vikings are just really fun to watch this year. And I'm not complaining. I like the Vikings. The Vikings are one of my favorite teams in the league. So, good for them. Good for Darnold. Hopefully Jefferson's injury doesn't derail the season. He should be back today, but you just never know. The Niners, on the other hand, I mean, they're piling up injuries too. McCaffrey was already injured. Now they got Kittle injured. It was just a wake-up call game, to say the least. Yeah, not amazing performance by them. Patriots, Seahawks. This was a game where neither team really played badly. The Seahawks just played a little bit better. Patriots, the O-line continues to suck. Brissett is really solid. He played a really solid game. Honestly, I was impressed. Run game solid too. The pass defense, not great. Hunter Henry, exclamation point. Offense, a pleasant surprise. They were pretty effective. Antonio Gibson, defense struggled at end of regulation, which is what allowed the Seahawks to tie it. Offense floundered in overtime, and costly defensive pass interference in overtime, which set up the game-winning field goal. The Seahawks, on the other hand, Geno to Metcalf. Geno looks much improved from week one, genuinely. I think once he got the rust off playing the Broncos, he looked a lot better. The offense looks much better. Blocked field goal, amazing. Geno really good on the game-tying drive, and Jason Myers great, both the game-tying and game-winning field goals by Jason Myers. It was a good, really solid performance by the Seahawks, especially after week one where they were just really messy. They cleaned up their act significantly, and that's what I was looking for from them. So, props to them, and props to Mike McDonald. Jets, Titans. Titans. Jesus Christ. O-line is rough. Defense remains solid. When Levis is good, he's pretty good. But what the fuck was that lateral? Will? Mayo Man? What was that lateral? What? In the red zone. You're going to lateral it while falling down. Okay. I don't know, man. You're an NFL quarterback. This is shit that... I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, give him a year or two and he could be really good. But he had a year. But how long are you willing to give a guy before he stops making these stupid mistakes? I don't know. Calvin Ridley was great. DeAndre Hopkins solid. Costly blocked punt. Then Levis with a great run on third down. Levis to Ridley, again. Great run in last 2 minutes by Levis. Boyd with an awful game-losing drop. That's the thing. Levis was really good 80% of the time, and the other 20% were so catastrophically bad that it dragged his average down to below average. He keeps making these terrible decisions under pressure. I don't understand it. Because when he's got time, he's actually pretty good. His decisions to run are really good. He's got pretty good decision making and awareness, but when he gets pressured, man, he just turns into like 2021 Deshaun Watson. Not okay, not as a person, as a player. The Jets, meanwhile, let us see. O-line really struggling. That's partially because the Titans' defense is pretty good. Defense emerges in quarter two. Garrett Wilson solid. Allen with a great touchdown. Breece Hall great. Rodgers really improved here. Several costly sacks. Easy blocked punt. And Braylon Allen with a rushing touchdown. The Jets just, again, shook off the rust. Rodgers seemed to click a lot better with his receiving core. It was a good turnaround game for the Jets. Truly, they look pretty damn good. Commanders Giants. This was the worst game of the week. I don't think anything even comes close. It was laughable. It was laughably bad. The Giants. Singletary. I cannot read my handwriting. Awful missed extra point since Gano got injured. Pass rush solid. Jones again getting zero help from the O-line. Malik Neighbors, a great choice. Jones running well. 2 failed 2-point attempts. The first one, understandable. The second one was just an awful drop. And then, speaking of awful drops, Neighbors with an awful drop near the end, which gave the Commanders a chance to win the game. The Commanders, Daniels' evasiveness is fantastic. O-line, not good. Not good at all. Offense, decent, at least until they get to the red zone, in which case they turn to shit. Great work. What am I saying? Fort's great work foiling the interception. I think he made a great play to prevent that. Austin Seibert kicked 7 field goals, tied for second most in any NFL game. Crazy. Good stuff. And new record for the Commanders as a franchise. Daniels taking some nasty hits that I think for his longevity he should not be taking. Robinson Jr. is solid. Eckler is also solid. Great forced fumble by St. Juste. Robinson Jr. with a great run in quarter 3. Daniels solid on the final drive to set up the game-winning field goal. The Giants are just embarrassing. What an embarrassment. Embarrassing performance, front to back. Just bad. Really bad. And now they don't have a kicker, because they didn't roster a backup. Whoops. Whoops-a-daisy. Yeah, I just... Bad. Rams Cardinals. Yikes. Rams. They lost 41-10. The Rams, great opening kick return. Defense getting annihilated. O-line struggling to prevent pressure. Stafford to Robinson, great sideline catch. On the board with a field goal. And I said in all caps, so many sacks, fuck. But they get one on Murray in quarter 2. Yeah, Stafford got sacked a lot because they've had several O-line injuries. They have a lot of backup offensive linemen, and it showed. Great catch by Kupp near end of quarter 2. Why did we go for it on 4th in the second quarter? And finally a touchdown by Kyron Williams. And now Kupp is injured, so both Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are injured. I just feel bad for the Rams. What a rough beginning to your season. And I don't think it's going to get much better from here. Cardinals, great defensive stop on opening drive. Amazing touchdown catch by Marvin Harrison Jr. And another. Kyler Murray looks elite. His extending ability is amazing. Pass rush, fantastic. Budda Baker, great on defense. Great run by Murray. Connor with a touchdown. And fumbled forward. Yikes. For a touchdown. Yay! Wild. That was one of the weirdest plays of the week. That was like the Holy Roller 2.0, except it wasn't a game winner. Just weird. The Cardinals fumbled it at the goal line and recovered it themselves for a touchdown. It was just weird. Weird. But the Cardinals looked great. I don't know if that's because they're good or because the Rams were bad, but Kyler Murray did really, really, really well. And that's partially because the Rams defense is atrocious. But, yeah, make of that what you will. Oh boy, Steelers, Broncos. Sorry, Broncos fans. Broncos, defense outmatched. Offense seems limp. Nick's running well, at least. O-line doesn't help at all. Great trick play from Nix to Reynolds. And then he immediately throws a pick in the end zone. Run game decent. Reynolds converts on 4th and 6. Lute makes a 35-yard field goal. Defense gives them an opportunity late, and the offense simply can't deliver. They kick a field goal, and for some godforsaken reason, Sean Payton doesn't kick an onside kick. Don't know why. Baffling decision. Steelers. Fields is running this offense beautifully. Genuinely, really impressed with Justin Fields in 2 weeks. Pickens with a great catch. Boswell with a good field goal. Defense elite as usual. Second field goal from Boswell. Offense struggled in the fourth quarter. Gave too many chances to Denver. That was the big caveat for the Steelers. They really struggled to run out the clock. It was bad. They gave the Broncos several good chances to tie up the game. But the Broncos just look hapless. They're bad. They are just treading water. The Steelers look solid, though. I think they might have a chance to sneak into the playoffs, as they so often do. But we'll have to wait and see. Bengals Chiefs. The Bengals, it was a pretty damn good game from them. They just got really messy late. Burrow just killed it. O-line still a problem. Yosivash with a great touchdown catch. Amazing toe tap. Jamar Chase amazing as usual. McPherson kicking very well. Game-changing sack in quarter 2 by Hendrickson. Great pass to Burton for 48 yards, but Yosivash with another touchdown, but a missed extra point on that one, which ends up being critical. Amazing INT by Cam Taylor-Britt. They make a field goal, and then their defense just sabotages them at the very end. Awful defensive pass interference at the end of the game, which sets Kansas City up in field goal range and lets us sneak away with a win that we absolutely did not deserve. Respectfully, we did not deserve the win there. That was entirely because of the Bengals shooting themselves in the foot. The Chiefs' pass rush remains excellent, of course, Chris Jones and company. Carson Steele can shove. Awful interception at end of first. Great touchdown by Rice. Steele with a costly fumble. That was worrisome. Great special teams play to pin the Bengals at the 1. Touchdown Morris, our backup left tackle. Great special... I said that. Pacheco running really well, but then he got injured, and now he's out for several weeks, and my fantasy team is sobbing, screaming and crying and throwing up because of it. Strip sack gets returned for 6. Amazing. Several costly holding penalties. This was not in the highlight reel, but we had a lot. There was even one where I was looking and I was like, oh yeah, that's going to get called. And I saw the flag go down and I was like, sure enough, it was just a lot of holding that sabotaged us late when we could have won the game more handily. But we just shot ourselves in the foot again and again and again. Now, granted, there were a couple penalties that I was like, oof, not so good. Also, I glossed over it. Sorry. Cam Taylor-Britt's interception for the Bengals was incredible. A one-handed catch on Xavier Worthy. I was just like, I can't even be mad. It was an amazing play. It was incredible. I couldn't be that upset. I was more just stunned. Yeah. The Chiefs are good, but they are vulnerable. And I have a feeling we're going to pick up a loss relatively soon. Sooner than later, that's for sure. I don't think it'll be this week, but soon. Bears-Texans. Yeah. The Bears, I had a lot to say, surprisingly. Defense really solid, as it has been for the last 50-some years. Offense seems improved. The O-line does not. Finally, on the good side of a doink, Lamau, they doinked a field goal in. Great. Williams tried his damnedest to escape pressure, but just didn't get any help. Touchdown Khalil Herbert. Swift running it well. Dexter with a great sack. Terrible interception at the end of the third quarter. Stevenson with a great play on third down at the start of quarter 4. Williams escapes pressure. Great. And throws a pick. Oh. This O-line is tissue paper. Truly. Just not a good O-line. And great 25-yard run by Caleb Williams. Made 54-yard field goal, but it was just too little too late. They just couldn't do anything. The Texans, meanwhile, Mixon great. Fairbairn was the hero here. He made field goals from 53, 56, and 59 yards. All of them perfect. Amazing. He's phenomenal. Great kicker. Offense was efficient. That was the word I could say for the Texans. They were an efficient football team. Stroud turns a sack into a 15-yard gain. Terrible defensive pass interference at end of the second quarter, which put Chicago in scoring distance. Just not necessary. Not necessary at all. Will Anderson with a brilliant sack. Marty Edwards with a sack. Is that his name, Marty? Edwards with this great sack. And a great sack by Hunter on the final Bears drive, which all but sealed it. The Texans look really good, which is a concern for me as someone who's also in the AFC. But we'll just have to wait and see. And finally, oh boy, Falcons Eagles. The crown jewel of upsets from this week of upsets. The Eagles. Sirianni, hope you're watching. Saquon excellent. Went forward on 4th early in the game. Didn't understand that decision. Hurts can run, and Devontae Smith with an excellent TD catch. Milton Williams with a fantastic sack. Jake Elliott's field goal is good. Hurts handling pressure brilliantly. Tush-push touchdown. And then it all falls apart. I have 4 critiques in a row. Tons of ineligible man downfield penalties. All throughout the game. They kept running run-pass options, which is fine. But the O-lineman kept pushing way too far down and getting flagged for it. It's just like you need to coach those plays better. Nicholas. Barkley drops the game-sealing pass. At first I was like, why didn't they just run it? I acknowledge now. Trying to trick the defense? Sure. But Saquon just drops an easy completion. And that gives the Falcons a chance. And Vic Fangio's defense was tissue paper. And then Hurts threw an awful pick to end it. The Falcons, meanwhile, Algier is quite the runner. And Younghoe Koo, great as usual. Bijan Robinson, electric as usual. Pass rush, quite good. Secondary, not so much. Darnell Mooney, with a great catch and run for the touchdown. Shook off several tacklers. Rough turnover on downs near the end of the game that almost sealed it. Fantastic drive by Cousins and touchdown catch by London. Genuinely, I don't want to take anything away from the Falcons. It was a really, really impressive game-winning drive. But the Eagles just folded completely. It was bad. It was so... I was just like, is this really happening? Is it really happening right now? And sure enough, it was. And a game-sealing pick by Bates. Great pick, but also just a bad throw. The Eagles, boy, oh boy, that was bad. To play that much good football and then just decide to just not anymore. It's inexcusable. An inexcusable comeback allowed by the Eagles. And now they are behind the Commanders. Somehow. This is where we're at. The Eagles are behind the fucking Washington Commanders. What a world we live in. Now, as for my Week 3 predictions, one of them's already wrong. I predicted the Patriots to beat the Jets. No, not at all. The rest of the week, though, here we go. I predict the Chargers will beat the Steelers. The Bills will beat the Jaguars, especially coming off the mini bye week. The Packers beat the Titans. Vikings beat Texans. Colts beat Bears. Bucks beat Broncos. Giants beat Browns. Again, these are all predictions I made preseason. If I could, I would change them now, but I just want to see how bad my predictions are. I think now, realistically, the Browns will probably beat the Giants, but we'll have to wait and see. Dolphins will beat the Seahawks. I think I would probably change that as well. Raiders beat Panthers. That's Stan. Ravens beat Cowboys, yes. Chiefs beat Falcons. Bengals beat Commanders. Eagles beat Saints. Now I'm not so sure. I think the Saints have a really good chance. Niners beat Rams. I think is still true. Lions beat Cardinals. That will be an interesting one. I'm very curious about that one. Can they actually do it? Or will the Cardinals continue to upset? We'll see. We will see. But that's basically going to do it for us. I'll talk more about the Patriots-Jets game after this week is over. Again, sorry this is so late, but I got it done before kickoff for the afternoon games. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You can find my Discord server down below if you want to find my stream and upload schedules and my VODs list of all the games I've played and the playlists with the VODs in them. You can also find my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, my Patreon, my Etsy shop if you want to buy polymer clay figurines like these, my WordPress blog that I update very infrequently, and my SCP author page if you like short sci-fi horror stories or more slice-of-life stuff, which is what I tend to gravitate towards. So thanks for watching. Feel free to do whatever, and have a good rest of your day. Go Chiefs, baby!